Chapter 3, Lesson 5, Extra Examples. This first extra example with all of these transformations, I'm going to put the answers up here and kind of take a look at these and go from there. If you have any specific questions on them, just shoot me an email and I can answer them. Next example says, write the function whose graph is the graph of y equals x to the third, but is shifted down 3 units, or 4 units, sorry. I was looking at the cubed. Again, reference that page 10, shifted down. I know that's on the outside, so y equals x to the third minus 4. I know down is a minus. Write the function whose graph is the graph of y equals x to the third, but is reflected about the y-axis. Couple things I know right away. If it's reflected about either of the axes, it's going to be a negative. Now I'm just going to need to reference that page 10 to see if it's on the inside or the outside. Y equals negative x to the third. So the reason I say this one's on the outside is because there's no parentheses. Next example, 4. So we're looking at the graph of y equals f of x. So we're just looking at a general function. Over what interval is this function increasing? So one of the things I had to do is I started looking at where are these points going up. So if I put in 0 and have 0 plus 2 is going to equal 2. If I have negative 1 plus 2, that's going to equal 1. If I have negative 2 plus 2, that equals 0. So these are all increasing. Notice, these are all increasing. So where does it start increasing? So I'm going to try negative 3. That's still increasing. Okay. Negative 4 plus 2. Negative 2, and now take a look. This is going to start decreasing, getting smaller, where here it was all getting bigger. So the other way that you could more easily do this is if this is a plus 2, you know that it's shifted 2 units left. Therefore, it would be increasing in the interval negative 3 to 3. And the way we got the 3, negative 3, 3, I'm shifting both of these original points 2 to the left. So negative 3 and 3. B, over what interval is the graph increasing? So this one is shifted 5 units right. So I am going to, from negative 1, 5, I'm going to shift it right. So shifting right means to go this way or to get bigger. So I'm going to add 5 to each of these. So it would be 4 and 10. C, what can be said about this graph? Well, it would be reflected. That's the first thing, reflected over the x-axis, which means our interval would be negative, or it would be decreasing at negative 1, 5. This would be decreasing. And then D is reflected over the y, and it would be decreasing at negative 5, 1. All right, next example, graph each function. We're going to start with the basic function of x squared. So the first thing I know about x squared, holy cow, I must have changed this example. First thing I know about an x squared is that it is, oh, this should be an equal. Sorry, that's why. Like, what? Okay, that's an equal sign. X squared is a parabola. So a parabola would normally start here, right? Well, this one is a +4, so it's shifted up 4. 1, 2. Okay. Next one. Graph this one. So I know that the square root graph is one that kind of goes off of here and over. Now, because there's the +2, it's a horizontal shift, and this is a horizontal shift to the left 2 units. So I would start here. Okay. If it says show at least 3 key points, one of the things I would do is I would just go ahead and substitute in. So if you had 0, obviously, and this probably wouldn't be a great one because then you're going to have to square root of 2. So you want to think about things that you can add to 2 to get yourself perfect square roots. So if I put in 4, no, if I put in 2 for x, I'm going to end up with 4, so 2. Another perfect square root would be 9. So if I want to get 9 here, if I put in 7, then I would get 3, right? 7 plus 2 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So that's how I would do those 3 key points. Graph this one. We have all kinds of things happening here. First thing, a cubed function looks like this, right? I am going to say the first thing that happens is that it is shifted left 2 units. So shift left 2 units. So if my original looked like that and it was here, I'm going to go 2 units to the left. Looks like that. Then I have a vertical shift down by 3. Shift down 3. So what's your 1, 2, 3? Right? So it looks something like that. You could also substitute in a couple of key points. In this case, you're not going to have to really think about them. You could just do 1, -1, 0 to kind of see where your points are going to be.